Valentine's Day. It's supposed to be about love, chocolates, and candlelit dinners. But for some, the most romantic day of the year has turned into a real-life nightmare. Tonight, we're not talking about cheesy rom-coms. We're diving into 3 true, terrifying stories that prove love can be the scariest thing of all. So, turn down the lights and let's explore the dark side of Valentine's Day. Our first story takes us back to 2011 in a quiet Ohio neighborhood. It's the story of Nathan and Crystal, a young couple who seemed to have it all. Nathan was a popular high school athlete, and Crystal was his devoted girlfriend. They were the classic high school sweethearts, and their future seemed bright. But beneath the surface, a dark obsession was growing. Nathan was possessive, and his jealousy often spiraled out of control. Friends noticed his controlling behavior, but they chalked it up to intense teenage love. No one could have predicted the horror that was about to unfold. On Valentine's Day, Crystal decided she needed a break. The constant pressure and Nathan's suffocating jealousy had become too much. She told him she wanted some space, a decision that would seal her fate. Nathan couldn't accept the rejection. In his twisted mind, if he couldn't have her, no one could. He went to her house, not with flowers or a Valentine's card, but with a sinister plan. When Crystal's mother answered the door, he forced his way inside. The argument that followed was not one of heartbreak, but of pure rage. Nathan's love had curdled into a deadly poison. In the end, he didn't just break Crystal's heart. He ended her life and her mother's. The day that was meant to celebrate love became a memorial to its most terrifying and destructive form. This case is a chilling reminder that possessiveness is not love, and jealousy can have fatal consequences. Next, we travel to Virginia for a story that sounds like it's ripped straight from a horror movie script. This is the tale of Stephen and Desiree, whose relationship was a roller coaster of passion and conflict. They had a child together, but their life was far from a happy family portrait. Stephen was known for his volatile temper, and their arguments were legendary among their neighbors. Desiree, trying to escape the toxic cycle, had moved out and was attempting to build a new life for herself and her son. On Valentine's Day of 2009, Stephen decided he wanted his family back, and he wouldn't take no for an answer. He showed up at Desiree's apartment, but his idea of a romantic reunion was a terrifying siege. When she refused to let him in, he broke down the door. What happened next was a desperate fight for survival. Desiree managed to hide herself and her son in a bathroom, barricading the door as Stephen raged through the apartment. Armed and desperate, he tried to break through the bathroom door. Desiree made a frantic 911 call, her whispered pleas for help painting a horrifying picture of the chaos unfolding. The dispatcher could hear Stephen's shouts and the splintering of wood as he attacked the door. Stephen was arrested, and Desiree and her child were physically unharmed. But the psychological scars of that Valentine's Day would last a lifetime. It's a terrifying example of how domestic disputes can escalate into life-or-death situations. You can reach out to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. You are not alone, and there are people who want to help you find safety. For our final story, we head to Australia. This isn't a story about a relationship gone wrong, but about a random, senseless act of violence that shattered the spirit of Valentine's Day. It revolves around a young woman named Eurydice. She was a comedian, a vibrant and talented person with a bright future ahead of her. One June evening, after a performance, she was walking home. It was late, but it was a path she had taken many times before. She was on the phone with a friend, chatting and laughing, just moments away from the safety of her front door. Unbeknownst to her, she was being stalked. A predator was lurking in the shadows, waiting for an opportunity. As she walked through a park, just a stone's throw from her home, he attacked. Her friend on the other end of the phone heard the horrifying sounds of the assault before the line went dead. Her body was found the next morning. A stark reminder of the dangers that can lurk in the most ordinary places. The killer was a complete stranger, a man who had been searching for a victim. Eurydice was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. Her death led to a massive public outcry and vigils across the country, with people mourning the loss of a bright light and calling for safer streets for everyone. It's a tragic tale that underscores the importance of being aware of your surroundings and looking out for one another. These stories are deeply unsettling, not just because they're true, but because they expose the fragility of safety and the dark potential that can hide within human hearts. They twist the very idea of Valentine's Day, turning a celebration of love into a canvas for obsession, rage, and unspeakable violence. We remember the victims of these tragedies, and their stories serve as powerful, albeit terrifying, cautionary tales. They remind us to be vigilant, to recognize the warning signs of controlling behavior in relationships, and to never take our personal safety for granted.